Okay. Now this here says ghost pictures, spirit pictures. Indeed, if you do the research into it, and under the federal, the United States Air Force, their own personal claims, not only can they fully remote control, shut down a person's conscience and fully remote control them to where they can even operate machinery through computer interface to mind technology, shutting down a person's conscience, overriding them, but even to the point of fully remote control of them, to where they can operate the machinery that the person is actually sitting in, even though they're not consciously aware of the situation. Other non-consensual experimentations, if you go back through history and you look at that to which they called the alien invasion type thing, or alien abductions, you realize, and you'll see, and if you do the research into it, you'll find out that with the alien abductions, one thing or another, they were using the same technology. Still a non-consensual experimentee for implants, nanotech, and other ongoing experiments. Between radio frequency and or the use of hypnosis by electromagnetics and or radio frequency, even to that of microchipping, dosing and or drugging, or a combination of all the above, you will see that most of these people, through past regression hypnosis, as a cover-up scheme for what actually took place to them, they were hypnotized into believing that they were abducted by aliens, one thing or another. They'd start out driving, wake up hundreds of miles away from where they were, or they were sitting, it was 4 o'clock, they stopped at a stoplight, and then it was 6 hours later, they were still parked in the same place, with no recollection, no memory. What they do is, via this computer interface technology, mind technology, and the use of hypnosis, they can actually replace your memories. They can take old ones out, replace them, stream them through a supercomputer, and put them back into you. Streamlining them the information that they were abducted by aliens, that the aliens were the culprits to what they were going through. Problem is most of the people that went through past regression hypnosis, they all ended up committing suicide at the same time after they were brought back to an artificial memory of what supposedly took place to them, just in the advancement of this technology. Now, at the same token, the Air Force works within special effects to abstract all your senses, to manipulate your mind as well as your spirit. They all feed off of your strengths, your weaknesses, your faith, your belief system. They want everybody to believe that everybody's being haunted. The spirits and demons and ghosts and angelic forces are actually carrying out these actions, or alien beings carrying out these actions against the people. It's definitely not that case here. These are holographic projections, and two, you can see electrical magnetic orbs being produced into the building, the living rooms, trying to scare you. I've got over 10 years worth of recordings of them walking in the home, moving stuff around, taking stuff, putting stuff back weeks, months later, violating us, to even the point of waking up with them in the house, chasing them out of the house. My wife and I both have. I also got audio recordings where I'd set the digital recording down at night. We'd be knocked out within seconds, minutes. Then you would all of a sudden hear them talking. They're asleep now. You'd hear the doors open, them coming into the buildings, the place, not just my place, not just here, but in many people that I was even trying to get to know before I met my wife, before I got married. This took place everywhere. Everywhere I'd go, this same events took place. And you can hear them. They'd spend up to 3.5, 4, 5 hours inside the building. I also got an audio recording where they invaded us when we were camping, right after my wife got up here, about 6 months after she got up here, where again they knocked out 3 of us, me, my wife, and her son, 17-year-old, the guy that was tortured. third-degree burns on him, and 2 dogs in the tent within 3 minutes of me turning on the audio recorder. We were going to listen to the lakes and the coyotes howling. We were all knocked out within 3 minutes of playing back the recorder the next day. The EM emissions from their technology also induce cancer, and stuff. Cancer and other horrifics. Right there's a spirit apparition of a lady. Here's another one right in front of me, between me and my dog, to where it looks like a ghost is haunting the living room. Here's another one, forming, manifesting. Air Force brags in holographic projections, spooking, being able to do all these. Here you have an arm streaming about 20 some foot across my living room. My living room is approximately 30 square foot. At the end of it you have a fist coming right towards us. Also right here you have something that looks like a skull, a head coming up through the floor like somebody's caught between dimensions. Electrical magnetical orbs over here pulsating in. My mother's coming in. I'm going to have to help her in a minute. Again, these are photos taken directly in the TV without the TV on. Notice the man right there. Tie, one thing or another. I've got over 10-12 years, like I said, of recordings of them pretending to be ghost spirits, etc. There's another one, a face clearly seen. More electromagnetic orbs pulsating through. Some of these are, sitting in the cemetery. I have electromagnetic, these are all victims. Every one of these people are victims. Infrared coming in through with electromagnetics in Utah, my wife's home, where they were assaulting her. This is Terry. I think of her name. Also a victim, torture victim. Constant medical issues, one thing or another. Horrifically. Utah, Anna, motel room. Because they came into her home, and we got a recording while we were sleeping of them actually entering the house and being present within the house for about 4.5 hours as they kept us knocked out. Constantly looking for evidence that had gathered against them, talking about it, getting drinks of water, walking around the living room, even being lookout. They even knew when we were going to roll over in the middle of the night, saying, wait a minute, he's about to roll over. You can hear us snoring. A few minutes later you'd hear me groan, this and that, and I would roll over. Electrical magnetical bombardment. Photos of our roof. Brand new roof. Not even a year old. The dents in top of the roof and the clipping on the flashing is where I chased them off the roof, and they ripped the flashing, the siding, climbing and getting up and down. The creases in the roof are where they've been sitting right above our windows, assaulting us with these electronic weapons of assault and torture. Like I said, they kept me to the point where I could hardly even walk 3-4 steps. Here you can see the window shades. This is only on my bedroom. All the blinds are melted from these microwave and energy weapons. These windows here hardly get any sun at all on the house. A few hours a day. The other blinds in the house got the sun all day long, and they never melted. All I'm trying to do is save and protect my family. And all they try to do is get rid of us, get rid of me. I've been speaking out a very long time against them. I've spoken with Heather Harder, ex-CIA, MK Ultra victim. And two, I have an audio recording of us speaking about these programs and other issues ongoing. This is the body signs and symptoms that the weapons can do to you. Full diagram. Electronic harassment weapon, this is what this one calls. It's actually the acoustic or sonic electromagnetic microwave radio frequency. They claim they've developed it and began using it in 1974. It talks about projection of voices to the head, blindness, full remote control of the mouth, the lyrics, forced orgasms, torture, pins, hot pins, needles, pricks, coursing through and over the body, drop dead in your track, chronic pain widespread from what they call the undeniable system. It's actually a weapon, microwave energy weapon, induced strokes, heart attacks, by the woodpecker signal, nanotechnology, receiving radio frequency to electrode that's in your heart that cause you your heart to defibrillate to even that of hardcore cardiac arrest. It goes on. Judge Judy was even a victim of this technology to the point where she was speaking gibberish on one of her shows. These diagrams help explain this. Here, there's a microwave laser on my head, voice to skull, while I'm in the cemetery. It actually turns my whole body red. A cloaked individual during the day, lasers all over the house, more burns. That was a good one right there. Right here you have a cloaked individual outside the window. Protruding through the window, there's another face right there, as they assault us, as they do whatever. You know, some of these things are so horrific, it's hard to imagine. Other things, they keep you knocked out, in full paralysis, etc., to where you're not aware of what's going on. Right there, two more individuals cloaked a block away, on the other side of the school, again by Sally's CIG trailer court, where they were assaulting us. Again, too, I'd like to point out, most of these people at the time of my detention, when they detained me, arrested me, they're the same people that came inside. A lot of these pictures and stuff and evidence began a year prior, them coming in, violating me, kidnapping me, as they tried leaving this place to go to hell. I'd also like to point out that while I was gone, I hired 3 lawyers. The first lawyer, Leonard Kumo out of Rock Springs. He's the one that forced me through these evaluations, refusing to look at any of my evidence, technology, audio recordings, etc. Just like the past 4 court issues I went through, from Trump speeding tickets to Trump restraining orders, Trump stalking orders, to even the feds, false claims and allegations with local county authorities, going over Lud's truck stop, trying to get them to file no trespass orders against me, claiming that I was making bomb threats against them and other businesses in town. Nobody in town would file paperwork against me. They've known me and knew I had nothing to do with it. Detailed dreams. I got journals going back decades. You ask it, I pretty much got it, unless they came and stole it. I'd also like to point out the first evaluation lady that I went to in Scottsbluff, which I believe was actually a Fed, put there intentionally to try and make a fool out of me, as well as try to say that I said, oh yeah, you know, I called the cops and asked them to remove half the weapons, and to where they said I claimed my mother was dead, even though my wife and I were here in her house caring for her. You know, they mocked me, they made fun of me, not only there, but even my wife, as they tortured us. Even after the fact, when I was gone, and they were still coming in, tearing apart our video cameras, destroying them and leaving everything in plain sight, etc., stealing evidence, getting in and out of the vaults, doing whatever they wanted to. My wife would wake up in the middle of the night in her bedroom smelling a man's cologne, strongly hovering around and above her bed. It would fade, she'd go back to sleep. A few hours later she would wake up again to that strong scent of a man's cologne hovering over her. It got to the point where she was sleeping with the lights on. And again, holding some of this information back from me while I was inside, as they were persecuting me, running me through all these evaluations horrifically. If you only knew what the hell went on in there. I offer all my court records up to the public. Every court hearing I've been to, all my evidence, everything that I've submitted to the court. I've written up close to probably 600-page affidavit. My wife's written up about a 100-page affidavit. Dozens of DVDs, CDs, photos, audio recordings, videos, judges' statements that no longer exist on record out there. These are horrific. These are absolutely horrific. I was supposed to have been on Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory show prior to my detainment, on targeted individuals related to all these weapons and technology. I speak out on Christian Crusaders with Doug Millar. Again, co-founders are Dr. Robert Duncan, Dr. John Hall, both victims. One's an anesthesiologist, the other one is, like I said, inventor of this technology, part of this technology, and CIA, DOD, Department of Justice, or Defense, who's also going around testifying for other people. They organized a group called the League of Justice, League for Justice. Doug Millar, he speaks out on MK Ultra victims, mind control experimentees, and non-consensual experimentation, as well as covering these events of direct energy weapons. Anyway, I gotta go for now. Again, this is Raymond Taylor. God bless the people. Stay strong, stay safe. Don't act out, speak out. God bless America. God bless everyone.